Hey guys, My Writing is Powerful here, and today I have a video for you. We wrote a short story for a school project. Mine is called The Note Started It All. We were allowed to make it whatever I wanted. Well, we were allowed to make it about whatever we wanted. This is what I came up with. I'm going to have a instrumental in the background, some music behind my voice, so it's not just, only my voice. It's a new idea. I want to see how it goes, and let's get started. I'm Emily, and the only thing I have left is my husband, a recovering alcoholic. It's now 7.5 years later. Our son is gone, never coming back. We never even saw it coming at all. Not one bit of it. Never. He left a note on the desk. I don't know if I want to share that note. It's kind of heavy and sad. I miss him. We both do, me and my husband. Every day of our lives. How would you feel waking up early morning, having to drag yourself to work, remembering that the kid who should have been at school is now 6 feet underground, still rotting, dead? The day he left Earth forever, we cleared out his room, top to bottom. Not a single one of us has even opened the door to his room since then. It's too dark and quiet. It's too unsettling, knowing that he was once in there, and we want no part of it. It's too much. Talking about it now, I can't even handle it anymore. I shouldn't have even brought this up to begin with. I hear the voices in my head telling me not to, but the ones wanting otherwise have won over me. I go silently up the stairs into my room and kneel down on my floor next to the bed. That's when I try my hardest to fight it. That's when I try to resist the urge to allow myself to do this. I've managed for about 5 minutes, trembling, as I sat there silent. When those 5 minutes were up, I finally gave in. I reached in the far back corner of our bed and pulled out a very dusty, old wooden box. This was no special box. It was literally just a wooden box with no decoration or paint, because we didn't want to decorate a box that contained these objects. I brought it back to the living room, and my husband joined me, although he looked sick. We hadn't touched the box in 3 years. I looked away, then back, then away, then back again, and swung it open. Instantly, time seemed to slow. My husband, or Greg, winced. It contained 4 things. The first was his suicide note, still reddened by dried blood. The second was a razor that he used, similar to the one responsible for his death. He said he wanted to go to a quiet place and be alone. And lastly, he left us a picture of himself. Just a regular picture, his favorite of himself actually, that we could look back on. There was finally a small piece of paper that read, "Keep these all, please. It's my only wish. I want people to know that one small item can create a big world of trouble." Anyway, that's enough waiting. Here's the note and what it said. When you can almost feel the pain surging through your veins, and as you sit at home alone in the dark of the silence, strongly believing it gets worse day by day. Look the other way, because you have me, okay? I have nobody, though. I wish someone had said that to me, but that's a joke. Pull through, he said to himself as he knew his dad was on his way home, drunk and as usual. He was ready for the beating. Maybe tomorrow it'll be different. Maybe tomorrow he will change. Every day, little by little, he starts to feel more brittle. Like a rubber band, he wonders, how far can you go until you snap? Pull through, he says to himself as he awakes with a fat lip and black eye. He wants to cry because he feels as though he's dying, but still he's trying, barely surviving. There comes a point in time where we've lost all faith and therefore life. Just letting the instrumental restart. A blade now becomes the creation of pain. It's only my escape to the internal vein. Finally, pull through will make sense for once, he says. He knew what he had to do, but first he left a clue. For me, it's too late. I lost the game. The happiness was drowned out by all the suffering which caused me to go insane. I'm gone, or at least for a very long time. Now all you have to do is pull through. Greg looked at me and said, "Never again." We should have just left it alone. All that did is make the memories even more vivid. Why? He asked himself and then screamed it at his wife. Why did you have to open the box after all this time? I can't believe you did this. Do you know how I feel now? Here, let me show you how I feel. At this point, he walked up to me and raised his hand. Then smoothly and swiftly there he was, 7.5 years later, alive under a new name, new luck, new life. 7 years in hiding after he killed himself. He didn't actually kill himself, but I guess some people believe things quite easily. Really, it was all an escape. Think back to the note, it hints he's alive. Did you believe he was dead? So did his parents. Now take a moment, think again. Did he once state he was killing himself? Or was that your assumed perception? His alcoholic dad was his reason to leave and escape. I'm gone. He never said he was going to commit suicide. He just said, I'm gone. In the box was a piece of paper that said he wants to be alone and fade away. That's because he wanted to get away from his dad and fade away, or forget the memories. And finally in the note it says, he's gone, or at least for a very long time. That's the 7.5 years. He wanted to think people he was dead so that he could leave the note, the razor, the picture, and make everything seem believable. Except at the same time, it was a game of sorts. Read the note carefully enough, and you would know he's alive. Read it and only read it, well, that's the problem. Life is not always as simple as it may seem. Sometimes we have to look beyond the lines. He tricked everyone in order to get away, all with a pen, a desk, and some paper. That's when he awakes, laying there still and cold out in the crisp autumn air. He had been thinking about this every dry night and day for countless hours. The decision was hard, but he had to try. He decided to go back now, today, October 7th, 2009. He finally arrives at his parents' house. He doesn't knock, just swings the door wide open, and everything seems to stop. His head's spinning. His parents are locked in a deep gaze with him eye to eye. He stares back. Not one person is able to move an inch. All three look into each other's faces. For the first time in 7.5 years. His mother tries but can't bring herself to do it. Taylor walks in, closes the door silently and gently, and stands in place. It's now dead silent and still. Almost impossibly in sync, both parents mutter the exact same words in the lowest, saddest voice a human could ever get out. Taylor, where have you been all these years? Then he mutters, I've been living, independently too, without Dad beating me, and I loved every last damn minute. His dad looked at him, stood up, reached under the couch and pulled something out. It wasn't in the box. It was a gun. He pointed it at his son. He said, I can't take it anymore. Seeing you is the worst possible thing that could happen to me right now. Thanks for putting all the blame on me. Slowly he turned the safety off, held it there, hovering, pointing at Taylor, and placed one single finger on the trigger. He turned the gun back to himself and pulled the trigger instantly. His mother was shocked but already made up her mind as well. She also grabbed the gun, said, I wrote about how you were dead, and about your dad too. I wrote about our experiences we suffered through while you were gone. It can be found on the same desk that your note was on. The note that started it all, and pulled the trigger. Taylor walked out of the house and back down the street as slow as possible. He didn't feel any emotion, any pain. Did you pay attention this time? He said, I have to try, right before he went back, right? Well, why did he feel no pain? He had to try to get his parents to disappear. The hiding caused them grief, and they couldn't take it. So when he got what he wanted, he felt no pain. Again, think carefully next time, because life is not always so simple. Walking down that street, still slowly and all by himself, he said to himself, repeating his mother's words, the note. I guess the note started it all, and smiled. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this short story. I've never done one yet, and this was an experiment with the instrumental in the background and a new idea besides a regular writing piece. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned.